side.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Good afternoon and welcome to Sunny Side on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Gabriella Anyanwu. Happy Children's Day to every single child out there and to everyone. As a matter of fact, someone sent a message this morning arguing that we all are children. We all have parents and we all are children of God. Whatever you believe, once again, happy Children's Day. It's a day to celebrate our children, a day to appreciate them, a day to remind ourselves of their essence in our lives and in our society. You know how they say the children are the future of tomorrow and leaders as well. So yes, once again, congratulations as you celebrate in whatever regard and capacity you choose to do so. And so on that note, we get a kickstart our conversation on the show today with how children decide if their single parents can remarry and if they should, as a matter of fact. I saw a video 2 days ago on the internet, circulating on social media, of a girl who was in tears because her mother had decided or had informed her that she was going to remarry. This girl should be somewhat between 8 and 11, 12 at most. And she was in tears and she was arguing with her mother saying, no, you cannot get married again, and so it was on social media. And that made me think about it. The impact of single parents who actually get to remarry. So we'll talk about it on the show starting today, being Children's Day. Do you think that children should decide if their single parents can remarry? And then at 1 o'clock, the news update comes up right after. Let's talk world government, that one government system. Is that possibly something we should be considering now? Are we ready for the one government conversation? Do you think that the world government would solve most of our economic challenges? So we have one president, global president. We have global leaders on a global scale. So there will no longer be Nigeria. Maybe Nigeria might be a state or a region, stuff like that. But you would have a United States of Earth, of the world, as the case might be. We'll look at the one government system, analyze it critically, and think about the possibilities of that being a solution to most of our challenges. Just maybe that's the reason why we haven't been able to come to terms with all of the solutions we have been suggesting. At 2 p.m., we'll talk to some children and their role, what they think their role is in the home. It's Children's Day. I would like to speak to some kids. If you're a child and you're listening, 2 p.m. is the time you get to join me on the show. I would also have some kids join me as well. And we'll just have a conversation about what the role of children really are in the home, what their place is, what they bring to the table, what value they add to the home system, and lots more. That's the package on the Sunny Side today. You're welcome once again.
Meets action. Information liberates. Tune in to 92.3 Nigeria Info. Catch us online on Twitter and Instagram at Nigeria Info PH. On Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Drop a comment, like, and share posts from your number one news talk and sports radio station, 92.3 Nigeria Info.
92.3 Nigeria Info takes the talk online. See pictures, news headlines, and be the first to comment and contribute. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. Like us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. Also watch and listen to us online. Visit www.nigeriainfo.fm.
Different ideologies,
different perspectives.
Share your views on the sunny side.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Welcome back to the show. It's the Sunny Side. We kickstart our conversations with this question. Should children decide if their single parents can remarry? So your partner died, or perhaps you've just gone through a terrible divorce. I mean, that can be very painful, whichever the case might be, especially leaving you with kids to tend for. You've mourned your loss, and now it's time to move on with your life. But there seems to be one determining factor of how you choose to move on, and that is your kids. I mean, when you think about step families, sometimes they're very unique in so many ways. It's a different ballgame when it's the man who is the single parent trying to remarry, and a different one when it's the woman who is a single parent trying to remarry. But I'd like to know what your thoughts really are. Is remarriage a gain for adults and loss for kids? If you have remarried, I would like you to also call in and tell me what your experience has been like. How has remarrying affected your children? And how does remarrying affect children? Should children decide if their single parents can remarry? So I asked someone this question yesterday morning, and the person's answer was, why would a woman want to remarry a mother? And I replied to the question, maybe companionship. And I said, companionship for what? You have your children to tend for and cater for. So what companionship do you seek? That was the person's response to my question. But I'd like to know what your thoughts really are. Let's look at the pros and cons of getting remarried. What are the fears that some people have when it comes to remarrying? What are some of the benefits of actually remarrying? I mean, as a matter of fact, there are so many benefits to remarrying. You perhaps secure a better future for your children, if they're still under 18, that is. If you marry a secure, financially secure man who can cater and take over responsibility of training your kids in school, that means your children get an education. That means your children get a roof over their head. But some of the time, we find people who, express their fears about remarrying because you see, oh, my stepfather did this, or my stepfather did that, or my stepmother beat me and break my head. I mean, we've heard such stories make the news now and again of how a stepmother broke his head because he didn't finish his food, or as flimsy as he slept off, or took a siesta, or didn't fetch as much water as he or she was asked to. So many reasons and excuses that we hear of. But these dangers are legit. I will not discount the importance of how people feel, their reservations, that is, to remarrying. But I would like to know what your opinion really is. What are your thoughts really? Why do you think people are always skeptical when you talk about a single parent trying to remarry? The phone lines are open, so Let's talk. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007, or 0817-923-0009. That's the female line. The WhatsApp number is 0809-030-6416. Should children be the ones to decide if their single parents can remarry? We've got our first caller. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Gabriella. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my name is Regina, calling from Secretary.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the issue we are discussing in the studio there is children can be involved in their mother getting married to another.
The question is,
second man.
do you think children should decide if
For me,
their single
I will look
parents...
at it as the angle of if the child happens to be a minor, as you can see, it's not in position to take such a decision with the mother. But if he is up to 18 years and above, and then it can be accepted, whether on the issue of the benefit or the disadvantage, I also know that it goes with either advantage or disadvantage. Disadvantage in the sense that if the former husband happens to be a margin type, which she cannot accommodate, and she is free. If she finds the second one to be a loving one, he will accept her from where she is. I think that will be an advantage to her. But it will be unfortunate that if she happens to get involved with the second one, she will also have another disadvantage aspect of his or her own life, which she cannot also bear. It will be a regretting factor, another regret for her. Okay, that's my solution.
All right, Reginald, thank you for your thoughts. Good afternoon. Please call back if you can. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook and on Twitter. That means you can watch us as you comment on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Gabby.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's a very deep and delicate issue. I think everyone should be considered. The children have a right to a good life, and they should be respected, irrespective of how young they are, because they have a right to their comfort, they have a right to their peace. But this is something that I don't think should be rushed into. I think the children should be carried along very, very properly. It's not every new father or mother that they would embrace. They need to find some comfort with that person. Maybe first as a friend, so the man or the woman doesn't just jump into the house, right? He comes in first, or she comes in first as a visitor, a friend who warms up to the hearts of the children. That way, the children find him as a very lovely and rewarding personality. And in some cases, we've had children suggest, "Mommy, don't you think you should marry this man, this uncle? I think I like him. Daddy, don't you think you should marry this woman?" Because the woman has adopted them and shows them all the care. They need care for a balanced growth, and that must be considered. Yeah, where the children say, "I don't want you to get married," we need to talk to them and find out what their reasons are, very respectfully. Because we have had cases of abuse. We've had cases where the children feel totally shut out of the home, the family bond, because they don't like this man. They're not into this woman. And then there are daggers drawn persistently. The woman beats them, punishes them. And, you could spank your own child in any way that you want. And the child knows mommy did this or daddy did this. But if a stranger, in quotes, does something similar, or you don't eat your food or you sleep on your food, and the man just flicks your ear, you feel this man hates me. The interpretation with children is a little different. Okay, so they have to be carried along very respectfully. They have to be shown all the love they have to be accommodated, and that's my view.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Good afternoon. All right, to call me back. The WhatsApp number is 0809-030-6416. Should children decide if their single parents can remarry? That's the question. Let's head on out to Facebook. We do have some comments here already. Oyosi Chari says, well, being single could come from different angles, but most partners that walk out on their spouse won't even wait for anyone to decide for them. They move on already. It's only a single parent that has a bond with the children that can even check on them for decision, and such, especially in men, is rare. The libido control most of them have are more, or getting back at the other partner they left and leave companionship as the last reason. All right. Belema Robinson says, I don't think any child has the mental and emotional capacity to make such a critical decision for the parent. Belema, when you say any child, what exactly do you mean? Are you trying to say children lack the ability to comprehend or understand life situations? I kind of disagree with you to some degree, though. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Gabby.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
This is Brown. Yeah.
All right.
Calling from Uniport.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this issue we're discussing, it's a diverse one. Because just like the text message you just finished reading about children making decisions, for me, it's neither there or here. Because the reason if a single mother, let's assume that it's a mother, and the husband died when the children are still minor, what do those children know about marriage that they will decide for their mother whether to marry or not to marry? Because at that age, they never understand what marriage is all about. So in this instance, if the children are minor, it is the mother, being the parent, that has the decisions to make whether she is to remarry or to remain a single mother. And when making that decision, there are some things that she has to put into considerations. And what are those things? It is, one, the physical well-being of her children. If she remains single, a single mother taking care of her children, will her children be well taken off? If she gets married to another man who is not the father of those children, will the person really take care of those children as his own? These are one. Then another thing is on her own side, her emotional feelings. She also has to put it into consideration. Yes, as a woman, she has to put her emotional feeling into consideration. If she remains single without getting married, how can she satisfy her emotional feelings? And if she gets married, will she really get all she wants when it comes to that aspect? Material need as well, and spiritual one. So all these are the things that the person has to put into consideration. And even if I got married, okay, finally I got married, even without considering my children's opinion. When my children comes up tomorrow and I let them know that this is not their father, this is another, this is their stepfather, how would they really get it? Would they really accept the man? Would they really accept the environment? Would they really accept the children that comes from the man? So these are the issues that a single mother has to put into consideration. It's not, for me, I think it's not a decision that one would just rush just because perhaps a woman needs a man who will take care of her, or perhaps the woman wants to satisfy her sexual feelings. So instead of jumping from one bed to another, let her just get into one man's house so that the person can take care of her children and also provide for her materially and all that. So these are these things that one needs to calm down and look into it critically, because what marriage is deeper from a relationship or a friendship. There are more to it. So these are the things that has to put into consideration, not just necessarily thinking of the children, but you yourself also has to put your own feelings into consideration before making such a heavy decision.
I'm glad that you took your time to really explain this to your own understanding. Thank you so much for sharing. It does make a lot of sense. Let's head on out to WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, this says, good afternoon, Gabby. Children are skeptical about their parents, single parent, getting married because they fear the new stepmom or dad may not love them as much as their own. I have a stepmom that loves and cares for me just the same way my mom did. Not all step-parents are wicked. I think too much of Nollywood movies is a cause of these fears. Anonymous from Port Harcourt. Well, it may not really be Nollywood movies. It may just be other people's experiences. You know how you hear someone's story and then it just sends shivers down your spine. It just might be that. I mean, I have personally not been in that situation, but I have personally heard of stories of people who didn't find it easy, who are still not finding it easy dealing with their step parents, mom or dad. So it's never really, a case of Nollywood movies or external influence. It just might be people's true life reality. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please, I just want to contribute to the discussion on this.
Go ahead.
First of all, why should there be an idea of remarry? Possibly because the husband or the wife is dead, or there was a divorce.
Right.
Coming back to marry. And for me, I think the main reason for remarrying is one, for comfort or live companionship. And for the woman's side, maybe financial security. But if the woman is, let me say on the side of the woman now, if she's secured financially, and the children are grown up, what's the need of getting married again?
Well, companionship.
Possibly your husband is dead. For me, I don't see any reason why you should go to remarry, because if you marry again, your family is automatically divided. Because the children will not want to follow you, being the mother, to your new husband's house. They want to be in their father's house.
What if these children you talk of are under 18?
Yes. So if you decide to leave them and go with the new husband, it means your family is automatically divided. Your attention too is divided. So what's the need of getting to marry again? So the best thing is to stay put with your children, have the best companionship you can ever have with your children, and if you have a little means of survival, manage with them. So for me, the only sense of remarrying again, when you know you have grown-up children and you have a means of livelihood, I think is totally defeated. The whole thing is going to shatter the whole family. Thank you.
Can I ask you a question? It's gone. I was going to ask him, what if it were the man who was the single parent? Would he think that it was still not okay to remarry? Would he think that he should go get companionship from his children as well? As a matter of fact, you cannot get the same kind of companionship from your children. I'm sure you know that. Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Mr. Zion. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
At least the last line of your comment, you asked the question, what if it is a man? Or if it is a man? The conversation has been suggested more of the woman. But I think in most cases, the male or the man are more vulnerable. And the big question is, what does our culture and tradition say about this incident? That is a major area which I want to consider.
Okay.
If our culture and tradition as Africans make a reference or have survived such, then we can practice it. Not for the children. Because if we are looking for the children, we are subjecting the man or the woman that will be coming into that relationship as a second-class citizen or a second-class fiddle. She's only coming for who? For the children. And the main purpose of the relationship has been defeated. As the man, if...
Oh dear, Mr. Zion, please do call back. I wonder what happened there. Please call back. I would like to hear what you have to say on the matter. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
There's a question you asked. Let me begin from there.
Okay.
What of a man? Please, for this society or this era. Please, this issue of man, woman, if anything, what of woman, what of woman? Man is man, woman is woman. Our natures are not same, so also the circumstances that we face are not same. Back to the subject matter. One, you have to critically consider all those things. Children know, future and all that. You cannot for any reason put your own interest first. Even those of us who go to church or the church, the Bible says that do not consider your interest always. Sometimes you consider the interest of others first before your own. But then when you put all these things into consideration, you think of the one that will work out, then you follow it. But most often, when women, most especially, put into consideration the interests of their children and forgo their feelings and their own interests, it tells them more. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. We have some comments on Facebook. Alex Alali says, children cannot decide what their parents should do. George Ekpedime says, no, they shouldn't because they are still children. So they can't decide what is good or bad. All right, so let's put this into context. Can we? Let's talk about children who are in their teen age. So we're talking 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, who are not adults yet. So you have teen children, teenage kids. George, this question is for you. Are you saying that a teenager cannot decide what is good or bad? To some degree. To some degree. Are you also saying that because he or she is a child, their feelings do not matter? Or their thoughts do not matter? Their suggestions do not matter? Yes, a child or underage does not really understand what marriage is all about. True, valid. But a child has a right to a peaceful home, to a sane, healthy atmosphere. And if they're saying, look, you bringing in a stranger as my new daddy or as my new mommy is going to threaten my peace and my freedom in my home, they have a right to express how they feel, don't you think? Don't you think so? So if your children were between 13 and 17, Alex Alali as well, I'm addressing these questions to you both. Don't you think that the children still have some liberty to tell their mommy or daddy, say, look, I don't think I'm comfortable with you bringing a, because again, what is remarriage? They may not understand the concept of marriage, but they understand the concept of mommy and daddy, and that's how it affects them directly. So when you say you want to remarry, all they're hearing is you want to bring me a new daddy or you want to bring me a new mommy. And you bringing me a new daddy or mommy, how is that going to affect me? Will he or she love me the same way you love me? Or my daddy or mommy loved me? Will he or she allow you to keep loving me with the way you've been loving me? Or will your attention be divided? These are some concerns that they might have. Yes, good afternoon. Go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Very well. Go ahead.
As regards to this, my name is Alban.
Okay.
As regards to the stand of the children when it comes to marriage, to remarry or not, I'm talking of teenagers now. I know that teenagers who are brilliant. They can easily tell you about marriage because everything is just changing.
Okay.
But then I don't think a child should tell a mother or a father not to remarry. Let's assume a child of 13 or 14, and then maybe the mother is dead, and then the husband needs a companion so as to take care of the children. the man in his right sense should make sure that the person he is bringing cannot jeopardize the liberty, free liberties of the children. Because those children are very, very important. That is number one. Then number two, the children too, the wife coming in, the new wife coming in, she would accept those children as her own children. The man, because this is very real. If the woman is coming in, handling those children, she cannot conceive. She would never conceive. So the best thing is for her to take care of those children and call those children as hers, so that things will work very well. But then a teenager does not have the right to dictate for the parents what happens in marriage. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Good afternoon. Right, please do call back. The numbers to call are 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, 0817 923 0007, or 0817 923 0009. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Turn off your radio and go ahead.
Yes, I've done that.
All right, go ahead.
In terms of marriage, the right thing to do is for that woman to open up to the man to marry me or to remarry me. Please, will you be able to take care of my children? Because when the woman opens up, the person coming to marry will not think over it. Will you be able to take these children as your children? Will you be able to bring out your money for them to go to school or for them to take care of themselves? Then, as with the wisdom of that woman, then the man will now go and also think over the whole thing. Then, if the ideas of the woman are comfortable with the man comes back and says, yes, I will take these children. The same thing to a man that loses his wife. The man should equally be open to the new woman he wants to get into it. Will you be able to take care of these children and make sure take them like your children? Then, under this agreement, when either the man or the woman accepts that, then the woman is free. But when you go to those children, they are not yet mature to look at the issue of marriage. Is a delicate issue and a very big issue. The children might not have the knowledge to confront it. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Thank you. All right, let's head on out to WhatsApp. We've got about 3 minutes to wrap the conversation up. Comrade Good News, Ikechukwu from Oweche says, good afternoon. This is really technical and totally has a high influence on a child. To me, the children have 95% right, if not all, to decide, because the children ought to be very comfortable with the one the man or the woman is getting married to. Again, we should be aware that children are very emotional. Thank you very much for your thoughts. A final message is from Penet Trust. It says, hello, Gabby. I think discussing such with children all depends largely on their age and level of maturity. Remember, some of these kids might not even know their real deceased parents, but if they can hold such, well, you have it with them. I see. Our final caller. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Gabby, Mr. Zion briefly.
Thank you for calling back. Go ahead.
Of bringing in the children, were the children once married, or are they married? Do they know the intricacies of marriage?
They may not know the intricacies of marriage, Mr. Zion, but they understand the parents-child relationship, and that might be the fear.
Then let it remain a parental and child relationship. Bringing them to come and discuss marriage, you are giving them depression. You are going to, you are subjecting them into an environment.
Let me ask you, Mr. Zion. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Zion. Are you saying a child does not have the right to express their fear if the new daddy you're bringing for them will love them as much as their former daddy?
then the daddy that is coming is not worthy to be a daddy. The children is going to have a problem with him. The mommy that will be coming does not want to be a mommy if that's going to be a problem.
But you know this is a reality, Mrs. Zion. I'm sure you've heard stories of women, stepmothers and stepfathers who physically abuse their stepchildren. I'm sure you've heard some stories. It's a realistic fear.
The man subjected the woman as a second fiddle, or the woman subjected the man as a second fiddle in that relationship. These are the problem we have. I have found myself in such situations. I'm talking to by experience. By experience. In my own turn, I don't think there's even much time. Okay, we have just a few minutes to go. Let me round up. See, if I have never been in this situation, I will not contribute. When my father passed on, my mom, she never wanted to get married. My elder sister brought the discussion in the house. Then I was still a little bit brief. But I should be honest to you. My mom never got married because it was like, no, you guys are grown up. I have to take care of the people. But I have seen a situation. Sorry, do you know there was a time that discussion became a problem to me growing up? It became a problem. Look at the depression they gave to me. I should have sued for that process.
Well, we do have to round up now,
I've seen a case where the man got married, and the woman he got married to this other guy, the woman is like a second fiddle. Whenever there's a family meeting,
we do
she
need to
doesn't
round
talk.
up.
She doesn't talk. So she's already playing the second fiddle. So children should not come in.
All right.
The discussion should be made on both parties. Mr. Zion.
Mrs. Zion, thank you for your thoughts. The time is up. At 1 o'clock, the news update, and right after that, we're going to talk about the one world government system. Do you think perhaps that might be the answer we've been seeking for all our numerous persistent challenges we have been experiencing in Nigeria? Don't go away.